overwhelmingly what we find is that the connections we make that are face-to-face are vastly richer than those that we have on social media. Even if we're talking about looking into a camera and Skyping, which can be wonderful, it's very different. When we're face-to-face, certain studies at the University of Michigan, for example, talk about people who are face-to-face have more energy. They're more engaged. They operate in a very, very different way than people who are texting, people who are Skyping, people who are even talking on the phone. So absolutely it does. And think about it from an evolutionary perspective, right? If you think about the most common modes of communication right now, texting, emails, and phone. For the most part, those things, and let's talk about social media, let's include social media, only one of those existed 25 years ago, right? And that one has only existed for about 125 years. Before that, it was all face-to-face communication, the occasional letter, right, which is wonderful. But for the most part, we communicated face-to-face. So we've evolved to communicate face-to-face. Everything else is tremendously new, so our systems are still trying to figure out, in a way, what it means when we're communicating with someone like this. Whether it's 140 characters or whether we're texting with emoticons, you know, it's different. Try leaving your phone at home for a day. Or just leave your phone at home during a class, and you'll have no go-to. Or bury it at the bottom of your bag. Make yourself a deal that you won't pick it up. It's usually easier when you leave it at home. But you'll find that your learning process is very, very different. Even when people learn with laptops, we have seen studies that say they tend not to retain as much information. Right, for many reasons, in part because we're used to doing a million different things on our laptops, in part because it's kind of a generic way of taking notes rather than using your own hand. You know, personally, when I was taking notes, particularly in grad school, to look at them, there are very, very neat notes, and then there are drawings all around them. Like, right, so like, it might just be drawings of, this is how I see this concept. This is a different way of seeing the concept. But the fact that you can play allows you to retain in a much more personal way. So whether it's leaving your phones at home, burying the bottom of your bag, shutting them off because you're far less likely to turn them on, taking notes by hand, there are ways, sort of throwback ways, that we find are tremendously helpful when it comes to countering some of the issues that we have, that society is putting on us and the schools are putting on us with technology.